I've always had a tremendous amount of respect for the Eagles. Being here now, seeing the guys work every single day, I'm happy being here, and I'm proud to be an Eagle. So, I've always had a tremendous amount of respect for the organization, what they did last year, and now obviously what we're doing this year.
Have the coaches tried to pick your brain maybe about what you might know from the Saints' point of view?
A little bit, but Sean Payton's a very smart coach, so I'll just say that.
Do you feel any sense of revenge? I mean, obviously,
No,
the Eagles
man.
do, but you personally go against your former team.
No, it's the next game. So they're going to be a formidable opponent, but it's just like every week. We're just looking to go 1-0. We're looking to defeat this team. There's no sense of revenge or anything like that. It's just the next game.
How would you compare the Saints to this franchise? I mean, I think you're the only player here that's played for both recently. At least. How would you compare the two?
I would just say both locker rooms are incredible, man. A lot of great guys in both locker rooms. That'd be the biggest thing that I would say. They're cool people in the Saints organization as well as here. So, at the end of the day, it's a business, and it's football. So there are a lot of similarities, but everybody's cool in the locker room. That's one of the biggest things.
What does it mean to have the role that you have for the Eagles going into this game?
I mean, it's really a blessing. It's really humbling, that they would have the confidence in me that they do. I've definitely been staying on top of learning the game plan, learning the plays, special teams and everything. I've taken a lot of pride in that. So for them to call my number and put me out there, that says a lot about how they feel about me, and I'm really appreciative and thankful for that. So I'm just looking to make the most of it.
A lot of friends and family coming to the game?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
How many tickets have you been able to?
Well, I don't really want to release how many, but it's I'll have a few family members there. So.
Boston, what are some of the things that both franchises kind of have in common? Obviously, that they're successful year in and year out.
I think there's definitely a confidence, definitely a swagger about the organization, and I think that it's really contagious. It's infectious. A lot of the guys here, we want to win. That's the culture. And that's what we're used to. And I can say that's the way it is at both. Down there and up here. So that's one thing that I really appreciated about there and also about here.
How much of coming here was sort of intriguing for you to be in the same locker room with Sproles?
Oh man, I've been watching that dude since Kansas State. I've been keeping up with him for a big part of my career, and a lot of ways. I want to take things from his game and implement them in my game. But overall, I want to be my own player. But having him in the locker room and his leadership and how he approaches the game as a pro, you can't say enough about him.
And obviously, his career says that a guy of your stature can make it, not only make it, but make it for
right.
a
He's
long
definitely,
time.
yeah, man. I call him the OG, man. He's definitely an inspiration. He kind of set the tempo for guys that look like me. So, yeah, he's doing an incredible job, man, and we're doing this for him, man.
You mentioned that you had some talk with the coaches this week about the Saints. Did you give them some good advice for this weekend?
I mean, I had an opportunity to play against them on the practice squad, so just some tendencies that individuals do. That's about it. So.
Where were you during that game? Were you on the?
Thank you.
Yeah, I was on the sideline.
On the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Anything stick out to you? I mean, the Eagles lost, but anything stick out to you?
For who?
The Eagles lost the game obviously by 40 whatever points, but just kind of how they stayed together during the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think that I haven't seen a game like that where there were so many injuries in one game, and that's kind of where I felt for them. I knew that they were plagued with injuries. We've been plagued with injuries since the beginning of the season. So that's one of the biggest things that I saw. So.
What have you learned about Sproles being in the locker room with him the last 7-8 weeks or so?
Just how to approach the game. He'll joke around. He's a personable guy. But at the end of the day, you're here to play this game. You're here to get paid. You're here it's your job. So when you're here at work, you got to come here to work. Make sure you're on top of your assignments. Make sure you're on top of whatever you need to do. But really, if I could just sum it up, he's a true pro. So just seeing him go through his daily routine and everything is cool.
The last time they played in the playoffs against each other, Saints and Eagles, was here, and Sproles was on the Saints. I think it was after your senior year in high school. I don't even know if you remember the game, but they came back and won it at the end. Started by a Sproles return. Do you recall that at all? It was a long return. Then he went down and scored and went. Maybe
I
that's
don't.
too long ago to remember.
Yeah, that was
But you were probably watching.
Yeah, definitely. We've been watching them for a long time.
And you grew up with the Saints too, right?
My family, big time Saints fans. So, yeah.
Have they converted?
I mean, yeah, they're Boston Scott fans. So, wherever I'm at, they're going to support me. But, they definitely like the Saints.
Are there ways you can impact him without actually sacking him?
Just pressure at his face, around him. And that's any quarterback. Quarterbacks, they don't like people around them when they're throwing the ball, and could mess up a timing or something like that. But I think the biggest thing for us, the biggest challenge for us is, their O-line against our D-line.
How far this experience still in the situation, Fletcher? You place a guy in Trubisky with 0 career starts, and now you're playing one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
I don't think experience it plays a bit in it, plays a little bit in it, but they're a really good team, and unfortunately, we've been playing out really good ball also. So it's going to be it's going to come down to this weekend about who can make the least mistakes and which team won more.
Yeah. But realistically, how much can change in 7 weeks from your perspective?
A lot. I mean, we're a totally different team from then. We got a lot of guys back, and I think right now we're playing our best ball on both sides of the ball. So that plays a lot with the team.
Is it tough to play with energy as you guys are playing with every single week and kind of carrying the defense?
I think the biggest thing for us is, the energy starts in the locker room. It carries on to practice and, it starts from upstairs also. So the energy and everything just carries on, man. The coach always say, just bottle it up and, take it on game day. And I think the guys in this locker room have done a really good job at it.
Fletch, when you take a look at the Saints now compared to when you played them last time, is there anything different that stands out?
I mean, they're still a really good team. They're still making a lot of plays. They're not turning the ball over a lot. I think they're playing really good ball, really good team ball, and so are we. Right now, I think the biggest thing for us is to make this game about us, and it's not about what they've been doing in the past. And right now, it's the postseason. I mean, everything counts. I mean, you win, you go on, and you lose, you go home. So I think the biggest thing for us is just really make it about us and not not about the Saints.
You always say that defensive line is the engine that makes that defense go. Is that more the case than ever this week?
It's always the case every week. Just don't have to put any other pressure on ourselves. We know as a unit that the coaches prepare us, Jim prepare us, Christian prepare us, we prepare ourselves to go on the road again against another good really football team.
Well, sorry if you already answered this, but how tough is Drew? I mean, he's been in this league a long time. He's done it at a high level, future Hall of Famer. I mean, how tough is he, to beat?
Yeah, they won a lot of games this year, but at the same time, I think for us is, just got to play team ball. Continue what we've been doing, is playing team ball, and just having fun doing it, and that's going to be the biggest thing for us coming Sunday.
Do you still have anger toward what happened last time you were down there, or have you completely been able to flush that? I mean, some guys have had different opinions on how they treat this.
I mean, it was embarrassing for us to go down there and get beat. As I said a couple weeks ago, and I said, whatever, we got our balls beat out, and I think that was a turning point of our season. We realized, that, we have to turn things around on our own. And, right now, I think, for us to go down there, we just got to play our best ball.
How proud are you of the fact that you were able to turn that around and do what you did and say, you know what, we're not going to be defined by what happened in New Orleans, and now you're here to talk about it?
I mean, I think, this team, this locker room, and it starts upstairs, the coaches and everybody. Nobody lost their composure. Nobody panicked. Everybody knew that we still had a chance. We just couldn't let one game, like you said, define us. So we just had to take their game and, flush it, build from it, and now we head into the second round of the playoffs.
What's the key to winning this game for you guys, in your opinion?
We just continue to play complementary ball, man. Just give our offense the ball as much as we can, and just play completely as a team. All three phases.
Hey, Fletch, we obviously don't know the play calls from upstairs, but it looks like you guys blitzed a decent amount in that first game. How important do you think is the
You think we blitzed?
It seemed that way. Am I wrong about that?
How many times have we blitzed this year?
In that first Saints game.
You think we blitzed a lot?
That's what it seemed that way sitting upstairs.
Do we normally blitz a lot?
You don't normally blitz a lot.
So we didn't blitz a lot.
That's the question. That was the four-man pass rush. What's the importance of the four-man pass rush?
Just getting to the quarterback. I think guys is take a lot of. The guys just know that the D-line is always the engine that drives this team. And I say it every week. It's probably like a broken record, but it's the truth. And it's just come down to guys winning one-on-ones. When teams want to pay a certain amount of guys certain attention, the other guys got to win, and that's what it came down to last week. Other guys was winning their one-on-ones, and that's what made it really fun.
Avante Fletch with Drew? Is it more about getting him off his spots because you know he's going to?
Can you ask me questions about Nick Foles? Y'all know Nick is a great teammate. So just want y'all to know that.
Well, how confident are you with Nick playing in another playoff game and potentially leading you guys to another NFC Championship game?
We got two good quarterbacks with Nick and Carson. So, I mean, I'm excited to see Nick go down there and compete again in another football game.
If Fletch, when you look at red zone defense, that disparity between total defense and red zone defense is pretty significant. What happens down there that allows you guys to be successful in the red zone?
Man, I mean, when teams get in the red zone, I think the goal is that the conversation always in the huddle is keep them to 3 points or get a turnover. Don't let them in, don't let them score. And with that mentality right there, and guys speaking that into existence, when we do get our backs against the wall, it really shows on game day. We talk about it in practice. We always talk about it. So I think that helps a whole lot.
Does it help you? I mean, you played some safety, you played some slot. How much does it help to kind of just be settled in an outside corner now for a little spell and get comfortable there?
I mean, it's just playing DB. I mean, playing with any position I play at. I mean, I take great pride in it. So, it's a good feeling when you don't have to, you don't have to worry about moving a lot of places. But at any time throughout the season, it can happen. If I'm not even gonna say it. I ain't wishing nothing upon nothing. We don't need none of that. So, if I had cornered my spot, that'd be perfect. If I got to move anywhere else, I would do it.
But you've been able to, the last few weeks at least, after so much change in the defensive backfield, you've been able to get a group kind of together, Rasul and Cravon and you. How much has that helped?
It helps a lot. I mean, going in and you got guys that in spots you don't have to worry about like shifting around, moving around, playing 2 spots at once during the game. So, you just focus on what you got to do, your job, and it makes the game a lot easier.
And you know what they're going to do a little bit more too after you play with them a while, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you know what them guys want to do, know how they play, know their movements. You got good communication out there once you got a guy in a certain spot. So.
Cravon's been a pretty strong addition.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he came in and he's doing his thing. I mean, it's fun playing as Cravon. You got jokes while you're out there, so when you're out there, it's just not all straight seriousness. You out there, you having fun with it, and you make a play. You always want to celebrate. And he's definitely doing a great job.
Do you think about how far you've come this year?
No,
obviously
I
got interrupted by an injury, but
no, I'll think about it when I get down with the season. Yeah, something I'll reach out to when I'm at home, sitting on my couch on the off season.
Avante, what were the learning lessons from last week's game for you?
Better eyes, definitely. The double moves are going to come, and you just got to have better eyes. Once I have my eyes right, I'm still going to play the exact way I play, and I'm going to compete.
Do you expect some double moves this weekend?
Definitely. I know it's coming. Copycat league, I already know they're coming. And they already ran a lot of double moves before that. So.
Avante, you guys played, I think, 40 snaps of dime last week. Just what does that personnel grouping give you guys? What's the strength of that?
You got all your DBs out there. You got all the guys in the back end out there right down this row, and you're out there able to compete and match up with guys. Some guys that can run. So when you got dime out there, you got a better matchup with guys that's when the pass is coming.
Are you guys at the point now where you have that chemistry, where you know where the other guy's going to be without even talking about it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you kind of know what's going on because there's guys in the same spot. You ain't got guys switching from spot to spot. So definitely when I'm out there, I know to the right, if I'm in the wider part of the field, I know I'm going to see Cravon right there. I know I'm going to either see Jink right there depending on the personnel. So, it's definitely more comfortable when you know what's going on.
What do you think, Jason, is the biggest difference in this team between the first meeting back in Week 11 to now?
I don't think there's any one thing. I think we're different from every game we've played up until this point. That's kind of the way the season goes. You're just trying to get better each and every week. It's kind of been our motto all year long. Obviously, early on in the season, we had some injuries. We had guys in and out of the lineup. We've had a lot of things to overcome to this point. And, right now we're playing pretty good ball.
You guys have had stability up front. Seems like you guys across the line up front have played much better in that second half of the season. Mm-hmm. Has there been any one reason? Has it been scheme? Has it been finding the right chemistry? Is there any particular thing that's clicked for you guys?
Up front?
Yes.
I don't know. It's just, I don't think we've done anything crazy this year. We got a good group up front. We have a good offensive line. We have good players, good coaches. But about. I mean, it's the same reason we were successful last year, the same reason we've been successful here before.
You guys have done a great job of wiping out the best opposing pass rusher. You know, going back to where it was Mack last week and looking back to Watt and so on and so forth. How much of it has just been probably scheming against the guys week in, week out?
To be able to stop those guys?
Yeah.
Some of it's scheming, but, you know, like I said, I mean, you can go back to last year. I mean, we have two of the best tackles in the NFL, and we've had them for some time now. So, you know, everybody can talk about opposing pass rushers all they want. The reality is that the Eagles, for the most part, haven't struggled against the premier pass rushers in this league. You know, I think obviously early on in the season with guys in out of the lineup, our offensive line wasn't playing up to the standard that we put forth. But, you know, you can go back for, you know, 5+ years. You know, we're very fortunate at the tackle position to not have to worry about those type of players.
Jason, I'm doing something on the silent count, just kind of the mechanics of how it works. How long does it take to actually get it down? You know, the coordination with you and the quarterback and the offensive line.
You know, I think all week you're trying to get used to it and get the timing down and all that. But, you know, this is installed in the off season during OTA, stuff like that. You know, it's a process that you go in and out of in the off season, get the timing down, and then every time you get ready for a game, you're practicing it all week. So I wouldn't say like there's like a specific amount. You just, you know, whether you're going to use it in the game or not, if you're going to, you want to rep it all week and make sure that you're ready with the timing and all that.
Brandon said that he could, you know, even a crowd of gigantic crowd, tons of noise, it's like your voice and the quarterback's voice is like his parents' voice. He can just hear your voice.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys must. I don't even know what question I'm asking. It's
Yeah.
I find it kind of interesting.
Well, I think, you know, you get used to, especially, you know, the guys that are talking a lot, you get used to, you know, the way their voice sounds and stuff like that. I mean, it still is, I don't want to make it seem like it's easy. You know, it's going to be, you know, loud this week, and certainly in loud situations, it's hard to hear guys, and you have to put an emphasis on making sure that the guys who are communicating are loud and doing it effectively. But yeah, it certainly helps to have a rapport with somebody and understand, you know, the way their voice sounds and to kind of pinpoint on, you know, what they're saying.
What are all the things that, if you don't, last question, guys, that go through your mind before the ball snaps? What are the things that you have to?
Oh man, that depends on the play. In all honesty, anything from you know, what play you're called, what formation you're in, what hash you're on, you know, what defense they're in, you know, what you know, situation the game is. You know, there's all these things that kind of you know, are going on all at once. And for a specific play, you have, like, you know, for me at least, you try and shrink all that down to, you know, 1, 2, 3 things that you're going to think about when you get up to the ball after you see what they're in. So, you know, I think you try and you start with the grand scheme of what play you're running and what they do defensively, and then when you get to the line, you ready to make adjustments for things that could cause that play to go wrong. That's, I guess, the best way to sum it up.
Jason, you guys during this run, the games you've won, I think in every one of them you've scored first in the game. Is that a mindset that you have? I mean, you know, it's how important it is.
It's certainly a bonus, you know. Yeah, obviously, you know, scoring first is important. I don't want to say that it's the end-all, be-all. That's quite a good correlation if that's the case that we've won all those games. But you know, obviously that was something we struggled with early on in the season, was getting off to a good start.
Yeah.
But you know, scoring first can all come down to who gets the ball first and whatnot. I'm actually a big fan of deferring, getting an extra possession in the second half. That's kind of what Doug and company like to get to as well. But you know, I think that, you know, at the end of the day, if you're scoring first, that means you're scoring early, and you're getting off to a good start, and generally that correlates to pretty good offensive performance.
Jason, when you look at the tape now versus when you played the Saints last, is there anything different that you're seeing from them?
From the Saints?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll have their little wrinkles in here or there, but, you know, they're very much a team that's going to do what they do. They're a very talented group. You know, they don't really have a weakness across the board. They got a lot of really good players that fit their scheme well. They're well coached. The defensive coordinator and the coaches certainly make it difficult to, you know, alleviate tendencies. They're going to make it difficult for you to study them. You know, they do a lot of good things defensively.
Doug Peterson yesterday that you guys are in the dance now. It's how close can you get to the stage, that you guys are not going to be satisfied with just being here in the playoffs. What is that messaging to you guys this week?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
What's the messaging from Doug Peterson this week for you guys? Has it changed at all? I mean, now that you're at the stage, he says that you guys are not going to be satisfied. Just being at this stage and being on the road against the Saints, it's moving on to the next round.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that obviously the end goal here is to win the game. I don't know that anything really changes, if I'm being quite honest. Obviously, we've been in a playoff mindset here for, like 5 or 6 weeks now. We've been on kind of a, one more loss and you're done type season. So we've kind of been in this situation for a while. This is just a really good team. Obviously, tremendous offense, very, very good defense, and it's going to take us executing and attention to detail and getting our jobs done if we're going to win.
How much does that help, though, the guys that maybe haven't been in this position before, having those 5-6 games of must-win games to get to this point in the season?
I mean, that's a big part of why we've started the job. I think that we have a good group of guys. We have a very hard-nosed team that we've been through a lot. We've had some adversity go, and we've certainly had some guys step up. And right now a lot of things are going well for us. And we still got to improve. We still got to work during the week, get better. As long as we can continue on the path we're on, I feel confident.
Have you heard from a lot of people, family, friends since that?
Definitely. I mean, social media is blowing up right now and everything's blowing up, but just trying to be the best team player I can be for everybody in the guys here.
Did you know you had touched it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Where did it, like fingernail, fingertip?
Grades of fingertips.
Okay.
Now you yelled out as soon as you tipped it. You yelled out afterwards. Did it hurt? Was it because what was?
It felt good though. It felt good actually, but to be honest, I felt like I didn't get enough of it because when I look back, it looked like it was still, on the right path. So when I look back, I'm like, oh man, I didn't get enough.
So you thought it was still going to go in?
Turn back around like it's over, and then it bounced off and. The rest is history.
Wait, so you didn't see it?
No, I didn't even see it bounce off because I was so frustrated. I thought I didn't get enough.
Did you consider maybe that it would have missed by more if you hadn't touched it?
Hey, everybody happy that I touched it, so that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? We won, and we getting ready for New Orleans, so that's what we're doing.
So you're happy when the NFL finally officially made the change, calling it a block?
Definitely. I like to get the recognition. Second-year guy that's trying to make a name for myself, but I got a lot of vets out here that's helping me out and helping me improve my game. So, I'm grateful.
What's it been like seeing the vets really push for you and Chris Long says Venmo Trayvon instead of Coach? What's that been like seeing their support?
That's a great feeling. It's a brotherhood in the D-line room. Wherever you go and whatever teammates you meet, you create that kind of bond with them guys. And, with the veteran guys that I got here, it's easy to adapt to them because, they know the game. They're willing to teach the game and they're willing to help me learn the game. So it's easy for me.
So if you didn't see the ball do that double doink and then fall to the ground, how when you turned back around and you realized that you guys had won the game, what was your initial reaction?
Well, actually, when I turned back around, I just heard the reaction of the crowd and the team just running out there. So it was just like a surprise, like wow, I couldn't believe that it really happened. So that was a good experience.
Is there a strategy to blocking kicks, or just throw your hand up there and hope to get a piece of it?
Definitely a strategy. Without Haloti Ngata, I wouldn't have been able to get the push that I got. Because we both, get down there and we try to get that guy in front of us out of the way. So, a lot of credit goes to him and the other guys around us because we all tried to make a play and it just happened to graze my hand.
How tough is that when you're trying to block a field goal? Because most of the time you don't get there. I mean, is it tough to keep going with that same fire all the time?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's one play at a time. So every time you're out there on the field, you just got to take advantage of the opportunity.
What's it been like going from getting cut by the Raiders before the season to the point where you're making a game-changing play in a playoff game for the Eagles? What's that journey been like for you?
It's definitely self-fulfilling. Basically, Philadelphia proved me right. They allowed me to show everybody what I can do. They gave me the time to adapt to the playing field and to to learn this system and to just go out there and play to my best ability. So, I owe them everything.
How does a play like this serve as a confidence boost for you going forward?
Oh man, it's definitely a big confidence booster. just something that you can just put on the back of your shoulder and just keep moving. You know, we'd like to continue to make more plays and to help this team win however we can.
Do you have a photo of the block anywhere? Do you have a video?
Yeah, I definitely do. I'll hang it up in my man cave and send one back home to mom, and you know, so she can look at it, and you know, definitely.
What's this week been like? Have you heard from a lot of people?
Blocking in college, is this something you've had success with in your career?
No, this is actually first field goal block. Yeah, so you know, first of many.
What's this week been like for you? Have you heard from a lot of people?
It's a regular week, you know, attacking the week like it's the same week. You know, we gotta get ready for New Orleans. You know, we gotta go down there and do what we gotta do, and you know, come out with a victory.
Everybody knows who Trayvon Hester is.
Well, you know, everybody knows who Fletcher Cox, Haloti Nada, and Chris Long, all the veteran guys that we got here. So, you know, whatever I can do to play my part, you know, I'm gonna help.
Biggest football play ever for you, Trayvon? Biggest football play?
Definitely for right now until we win the Super Bowl.
Have you ever blocked a kick before?
That's the first one.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you see the bear fall down after that?
On the video. Yeah, on the video.
Not really. If he probably gives it to Deuce and Deuce gives it to us. Deuce is probably the only person I really want to talk to during the game because he knows how to get to us and knows how to get the message or what they're saying to us. So I don't really get anything from him.
What part of your game do you think you've taken up a notch this year?
I think everything's sort of going up. I think my sense of urgency has went up. Just blocking has went up. Running hard, fighting for those extra yards, and just getting the job done most of the time and taking advantage of what defenses give us. I think earlier I was looking for a big play all the time and trying to force some things. I think it's just happening naturally now. So I think that's gotten better, and just my opportunities that went up also. So.
Wendell, when you were inactive last year in the playoffs, and we would ask Doug about that, he would say, you know, Wendell's still there. He's still a part of it. How much did having that support help you now?
It was tremendous just going in to every week or whenever I talked to him or whenever I seen him talking about me in the media. It was just like he's still there for me. He's still hanging with me. And right after the offseason, he let me know, I'm still with you. I believe in you. I want you to come work hard, get right this offseason, and you'll be right back where you left off. And you know, he's stuck with me, and it's been 3 years now. So he's got my back. I know almost every position coach has got my back here, and the whole staff.
Does it make it easier for the season too? I mean, your playing time kind of varied.
Yeah, it made it easier for me just staying in it, and that's how it's always been for me here. Just nobody's ever counted me out. I think everyone's always believed in me, and it's never been a doubt at all from those guys. I think it would be more me thinking it, and then you turn around and I hear Doug saying this about me and Deuce saying that about me. I'm like, man, they still got me, and I'm like, it boosts my confidence and helps me play better, I think.
Do you still know from week to week, like, how much you're going to get the ball? Like, you know, it seems like...
I think honestly, you sort of never know. It could be planned to go one way and one thing could change or one thing can click. So I think the most important thing is how we practice and how hard we practice. Everyone does it as if they're going to be playing a lot, and I think when the situation presents itself, everyone's taking advantage, whether it's a receiver that got to play more, whether it's a running back or an O-lineman. Everyone practices hard and takes on that load as if it's going to be a hard week. And I think the way we practice just makes it so much easier in the game for me to be able to handle stuff.
Wendell, some of the guys yesterday were wearing those ski mask season shirts, and I heard that you were the one that got them for the team?
Yeah. One of my buddies, one of my friends came up with the logo and put the bird in the ski mask, and the defense has been taking off with it, and he presented me a shirt, and I was like, hey, I think we should get all the guys this, and it's just been blowing up. I know Jay Mills has something, and it's been good. I like the whole thing. We were dogs last year. Now we put the ski mask on top of the dogs, so it's more motivation for us.
Yeah, I know the ski mask is more for the defense when they get a turnover, but what can it do for the offense as well?
Just having that mindset, they gives us that mindset. When we see them doing that, man, it pumps us up. And most of the time after they're doing it, they probably got a turnover. We're going on the field with the same energy. So it's like, man, those guys come up with tremendous stuff. I know last year they gave us, Lane and Chris gave us the underdogs and the ski mask. Now we masking up. It's time to go. Time to go take something.
The defense has shut out opponents in the first quarter for the last 3 straight games. How does that allow you guys on offense to come out to faster starts?
It just gives us confidence. I mean, this game is all about energy and having momentum, and those guys going out there balling, getting sacks, getting turnovers, creating more possessions for us. I think the more we get the ball, the more we have the ball, the better we get, and the more defenses get wore down. And you notice when defenses are on the field for a long time, that's when the defense come on.
As much fun as you're having contributing those T-shirts with the ski mask on, how much more fun is it being able to contribute in the offense that you have been here down the stretch?
I mean, it's tremendous. It's huge for me. It means a lot to me to be out there and be able to help and be able to see guys depending on me and me being able to depend on the team. That's so much more than everything else. I think that means the most, being able to help your brother out, or your brother, or you're helping your brother, or your brother helping you. I think that's just what this team is about. That's what we're all about, having success for each other. I want to be good for the O-line. The O-line wants to be good for me, and that's just how it works.